Hey there! Today I'm going to share with you the pros and the cons of living in Nashville, Tennessee in 2024. So, if that's what you want to know the good things and the bad things about actually living here in the Nashville area, then stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Greg Spackman. I'm with the Living in Nashville, Tennessee channel. If you're looking to make that move here to the Nashville area, you want to know what it's like to live here, eat here, sleep here, play here, then click the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time I do new videos. I've been getting a ton of people lately that are reaching out to me about making that move to the Nashville area. I absolutely love it. So if that's you, give us a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Let's talk about getting you moved here to Nashville. Pro number one, and one of the best things about living here in Nashville, is the Southern hospitality. The nicest people on earth live here in the Nashville area. I want to say some of the nicest people I've met anywhere in the entire nation live here in the Nashville area. So that is a super cool thing and one of the best things about actually living here. If you disagree with that, then please drop that in the comments below. But I think most people will agree that we have some of the friendliest people here, other than when someone tells you bless your heart, which when we first moved to Nashville, we thought that was a good thing until we realized it really wasn't a good thing. So that's pro number one, just the Southern hospitality, nicest people that you're going to find here. Pretty much anywhere in the entire nation live in the Nashville area. Con number one is the tourism. So if you are not a fan of all the tourists that come to visit, Nashville has a ton of tourists. So most of them luckily hang out in either Franklin or Nashville, and a lot of them will go to the downtown Nashville area. They love to go to the Broadway area and then all of the other event centers that are around Nashville, and they put on a ton of different events. Like we had the NFL draft and the NHL draft in Nashville. So just a ton of different things. We have the Tennessee Titans that play in downtown Nashville. So you'll have a ton of people that come in every week for when we have our home games that are for the other team. So you got a ton of different tourists that come in to the Nashville area. So that's a con in my book, just the amount of people that you have that are coming there, and the tourists don't treat the city the same way that us residents and locals do. Pro number two of living in Nashville, Tennessee, is we have highly rated, really good schools, whether they're elementary, middle school, high school. There are areas of Nashville in Davidson County that have some poor schools, but you can look that up online on Great Schools or School Digger or one of those websites to find out what the bad schools are. However, most of the schools are really, really good. We have a number of really highly rated colleges that are in the Nashville area. Vanderbilt has an excellent school and a really good baseball team typically. We also have Belmont that's in Nashville. So there are just a ton of different schools in the Nashville area. We have Middle Tennessee State University and Murfreesboro. That's a great school to go to. Just a ton of different schools and colleges that are in the Nashville area that are really highly rated. Con number two, and in one of my other videos, someone commented about the roads, but our roads here are pretty poorly maintained. We have a lot of potholes on the roads that they seem to take a lot longer to fix than what they should, and just the highways and everything else. They don't put a lot of money into our roads, and it could be just what taxes are collected. We don't use that money for the roads, but it'd be nice if we would put a little bit more money into the maintenance and of our roads. There are some roads out in Nolensville, for instance, where there was like Pothole Alley, where it took forever for them to get them to fix the road to, repave it, where it should have been done much, much faster. And I think some of that was that it was a city and then a county road, and that causes some issues when they're, either some of it is city, some of it is county. So just know that the roads are not the best in the Nashville area. We don't spend a lot of money maintaining the roads, and it'd be really nice if they spent more. Pro number three for why you should be living here in Nashville, Tennessee, is our food. We have some amazing food options. We have the best hot chicken, I think, anywhere. We have really good barbecue. A number of places. Edley's is one of my favorite barbecue places, but if you got a favorite place that you love to eat here in Nashville, please comment below. I'd love to try someplace new that I haven't tried. We have great steak places. If you've been to Jeff Ruby's, that's amazing. It's really expensive, but the food is really, really good. And then my favorite place to eat a steak is at Stony River. We like the Franklin location the best, but they have numerous ones around the area. So it's sort of like a chain, but it doesn't feel like a chain as far as quality goes. Just a number of different food. You wouldn't expect the Nashville area to have good Mexican food. It has amazing Mexican food. We've eaten Mexican food all over the U.S., and my favorite place to eat Mexican food is in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which may surprise some of you. But their food, I think, was the best. Their salsa was amazing. And then their chilies and stuff are really, really good there, wherever they get it from. On the food front, you're going to find really good food over no matter what type of food you're looking for. In Franklin, there's a really good place for you to get Kung Pao chicken that I really like called Bamboo House. So you could try that as well. You could always ask me what my favorite places to eat. I love to eat. There's a ton of good burger places here, Burger Republic. There's just a number of good places to eat in the Nashville area, and that was really surprising for me. So that's a pro on my list. Con number 3 of living in Nashville, Tennessee is our public transportation. It is awful here. The only sort of public transportation we have is some buses, and we have a train that goes from Nashville out to Lebanon, which I just found out about. But other than that, we have nothing as far as public transportation. It's terrible here. We really need to set up some sort of light rail system that goes along I-24, I-65, I-40, and maybe even 840 so that you could get from, say, Murfreesboro to Franklin, from Franklin up to Nashville, Nashville out to Lebanon, out to Gallatin, out to Fairview, just a ton of the different cities we should be able, and up to Clarksville. So we really need to have some sort of major public transportation light rail system that we build. They can just build it elevated along the freeways to start, and then they can have a few branch offs and a few different train stations set up for it. But that way we could get around to all the different cities so you could live wherever you want to live and make it easy for you to get where you want to go. Pro number 4 of living in Nashville, Tennessee is Broadway Music Row. So other than the tourists that are there, Broadway is an amazing place for you to go up along that. And so when I've been to a Predators game, after the Predators game, you can go to some of the bars, and they have a ton of live music, from country music, which I dislike, but every other sort of music is playing in different ones. So you just have to figure out which type of music you want to hear, and then you can just go bar hop. So even if you aren't a big drinker, it's still a lot of fun to go with your friends to the different bars and stuff, just to see how that is and listen to the different live music. One other thing that you should know about Music Row is it's the bachelorette capital of the world, or at least it feels like it. There are a ton of parties every Friday and Saturday night, especially when it gets a little warmer. But there are a ton of bachelorettes that you're going to see just walking around, the bridesmaids and all of that. And that's a super cool thing just to see and watch them have fun and all of that. Con number 4 of living in Nashville is our traffic. So when we first moved to Nashville, traffic wasn't as bad as it is now. And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Every year, traffic gets worse than it was. It used to be that there wasn't much traffic around Nashville once you were outside of the, major rush hour, where you kind of expect major rush hour traffic, the 8 o'clock and the 5 p.m. hours to be really bad in most cities. Well, it's just gotten worse and worse around Nashville. And now I feel like it's almost all day. It's awful to get around Nashville, where you can't do, 60, 70 miles an hour on the loop. So that's con number 4 is our traffic there. It's spread more, like if you are going south to Columbia and Spring Hill along I-65, that traffic has just gotten worse every year as more and more people move down there. They build more homes, and they are not widening or doing any way to make that traffic better. However, they are building a new on-ramp, which might make things a little bit different as far as the traffic goes, since people can get off there. However, traffic is just something that you should be aware of. And yes, I do know that there's traffic in every city, but I just want to share with you from my experience that traffic has gotten worse every year in the Nashville area, and probably will continue to get worse as more and more people find out how awesome it is to live in Nashville and choose to make that move, and they actually reach out to me so that I can help them make that move here. Pro number 5 is also con number 5, and that's the weather. And we get all 4 seasons in Nashville. I have people that comment and talk to me and that I've helped that absolutely love all 4 seasons that we have here in Nashville. I will cover the seasons right now just so you're aware, but we have thunderstorms. We have some of the coolest lightning shows that you're going to see and thunder shows. Just awesome, where the whole sky is lit up with, it looks like just lightning, and it's awesome to see. It can be scary for your pets, so know that. We get a lot of rain. So someone commented in one of my other videos, we don't necessarily get a ton of rain all at once. It just seems like we get rain every day. And there will be weeks where every single day it rains a little bit. We get more rain than we get in Seattle. One of the last time that I looked it up in inches, they just have more, I don't know, misty rain, and we get more hard rain. But it rains an awful lot in Nashville. We get ice storms and we get a little bit of snow. So every now and then we'll get some snow where you can actually sled and stuff. But other years we get, a 1/4 inch of snow or none. So just know you can get snow. When we first moved to Nashville, we were hoping for more snow because where we moved from, we got 0 snow. So we were hoping to be able to sled and all of that. And it didn't snow, I think, for the first year or two where we could do anything. As far as summer goes, summer is hot and humid. And yes, I know it's hot and humid, and it's not as bad as other areas in the country. However, moving from where we moved in Southern California, it wasn't hot and humid. It would just be hot. So moving to the humidity, I absolutely hate the humidity. I hate walking from the front door to my car or walking from my office and then getting in my car and feeling awful for the first few minutes till the AC kicks on. So that's something that you have to deal with in Nashville. Other people have grown up with that or live in Nashville and know that that's how it is and they're used to it. But I'm not a big fan of swamp ass and other things that go along with the humidity. So you just got to be aware that we have that in Nashville. So you may not be thinking that because you may come and visit, in the wintertime when it's not humid at all. Wintertime, like I said, it's really nice winters. We get pretty mild winters in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Typically, there's a few days where it's really, really cold, but most of the time you can get away with, like a hoodie like I'm wearing now and, a pair of jeans and you're good to go and it's not too cold. But there are days when it's really cold, and then there are also days where it's like 70, 80 degrees in the winter time. So we have some different weather, I guess weird weather here in Nashville where it can be hot or cold, and one day it could snow, the next day it could be 70 degrees. Just know that we have that here. Spring and fall are also really nice. You get the fall, the leaves change. Springtime, all the leaves come back. So those are super cool. And then I already touched on summer. Pro number 6 of living here in Nashville is the music scene. So if you are a big country music fan, then you are going to absolutely love living in Nashville because there's so many places to go, so many bars, so many clubs. You got the Gaylord Opry, just a ton of different things that you can go do to enjoy country music. However, if you're not a country fan like myself, know that you're not going to run into it. It's not going to be playing at every store. There are certain stores where they do play it, but for the most part, it really isn't a big deal if you're not a big country music fan. But if you are into music at all, we've had a number of clients that have moved here where they've gone into the music business and they play different places. So you can play at all the churches where they have bands. Every church seems to have a band that plays every week. And then all the different events, places that you can go, bars, clubs, coffee shops, everything. There's just a ton of growth for the music industry here, and the music scene is pretty awesome. Con number 6 of living here in Nashville is our housing prices, rental prices. So when we first moved here, Nashville was really, really affordable. Moving from California, where the average home price then was in the 700,000 mark, here in Nashville, the average home price was in the 200,000-300,000. You could get a really nice home for 400,000 or 500,000. Now you're kind of not getting the best home for that price in the Nashville area. You can still find places. You can get a 3-2 for under 500 for sure. But it's just not as common as it was years ago. And especially since the pandemic happened, home prices have just pretty much doubled here, and it's probably doubled where you are as well. So it's not really going to feel uh, like as big of a deal as it would be as long as you own a home and have equity that you're bringing with you. If not, then it's going to feel pretty painful to try to find a home, and you got to make pretty decent money to be able to afford a home here in Nashville. Pro number 7 of living in Nashville are their sports teams. So we have the Tennessee Titans. So if you're an NFL football fan, you can go watch them. If you're a hockey fan like myself, then you have the NHL Predators to go watch, and the Predator games are amazing. Even if you're not an NHL fan, I highly recommend that you go to at least one game just to see the atmosphere and everything. It's super cool to go watch. We have the Nashville Sounds, which is a AAA baseball team. And then we have the Nashville Soccer, so an MLS soccer team that's pretty new to the Nashville area, but the stadium is really, really nice. So that's still on my list to go see. We went to a professional rodeo thing that they have, and that was at the Bridgestone Arena. That was super cool to watch, where it was professional bull riding, one team against another, and they had some, the scoring and all of that. And that was super cool to go watch. So sports are really, really good in the Nashville area. If you're a college football fan, most people seem to be either University of Alabama or an Auburn fan or a Tennessee fan. So you're going to be one of those 3 college football fans. You can comment below what your favorite college football team is, but just know that you're going to see a lot of Alabama, a lot of Auburn, a lot of Tennessee fans living here in Nashville. Con number 7 is the allergies. Nashville is in what's called the allergy bowl, where I guess a lot of the pollen and everything just gets kind of stuck in the Nashville area. So if you have allergies, just know that they could be worse here for you. When we first moved to the Franklin area, our allergies were off the charts. So I went to the doctor, and he told me just to take a Claritin and then use Flonase. So that seemed to work for me. You're going to need to go and talk to your own doctor, go to one of the allergy centers, get tested, find out what the allergies are for you, and then the best way to treat that. So that would be something if you're an allergy sufferer. Typically, they're only bad in the springtime for me and the fall. Usually the summer and the winter, I don't have it. So it's a couple weeks a year where my allergies take off, and then I can typically treat them. Maybe I'm down for like a day or two where I feel foggy and I don't feel like myself, but for the most part, I feel fine. Pro number 8 of living in Nashville. And this is something that I got from just talking to someone that reached out to me actually this week about moving to Nashville. So she's hopefully going to make that move here in the next few months. But religion, and Nashville is in the Bible Belt and has one of the coolest things, and something that her and I talked about on the phone was no matter what religion you are, there seems to be a church for it. So if you're Christian, you're Catholic, you're Buddhist, you're whatever religion that you are, they seem to have a church here for it. If you aren't religious, it doesn't seem to be a problem. No one seems to care that you are or you aren't religious. So that's a cool thing about Nashville. And when we first moved to Nashville, we would have people that asked us about what church we went to. Well, we didn't go to a church because we just moved there. So we hadn't found what was our jam, I guess. And so I can say that since the pandemic, I've not had anyone ask me that question anymore. So I don't know if it's just there's so many people that moved here that aren't from the area, or don't care about the church anymore. But it was a cool thing when we first moved here to have that, and now that's kind of gone away. But just know that religion here, you can be religious as you want, or you could be not religious, and it's awesome, and people are really accepting of that. So if you've made it this far in the video, please reach out to me. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I'd love to talk to you about getting you moved here to the Nashville area. We can talk about the different areas. Each type of city has its own feel and vibe, so I can go over that with you. I'd love to jump on a Zoom so we can get to know each other a little bit. And until next time, I'm out.